Okay, this should be the final video for the day. We're going to look at lines that are parallel and perpendicular to each other. You should have an idea from slopes and rates of change what parallel and perpendicular are, but we'll do a quick review. So real quick, if two lines are parallel, this means they have the exact same slope. So it must be exactly, they have the exact same slope. So exactly the same. Okay. That's parallel. Perpendicular, on the other hand, we want to make sure we know has opposite reciprocal slopes. So perpendicular. They have opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, so opposite reciprocal, a quick example. If I have one slope is equal to 3/4, the opposite reciprocal, so the perpendicular slope, opposite means change the sign. This was positive, this will be negative. Reciprocal means flip it, so it's 4/3. So that's one example. Another example would be if I had a slope of my m equals -1/2. My perpendicular slope to this one would be the opposite, which would make it positive, and it'd be 2/1, which equals 2. Okay, so that's parallel and perpendicular. Quick review of that. All right, the next thing we want to do then is, this says give the slope-intercept form. So this is telling us what kind of form we want to have our answer in. Slope-intercept form of a line that is perpendicular to -4x plus 7y equals -3 and contains the point -2, -3. So first thing we have to do is look at, okay, I want it perpendicular to 4x plus 7y equals -3. Well, that's standard form, or general form. That doesn't tell us our slopes. We got to go through and find our slope. To do that, we need to get this equation in the form y equals mx plus b. So we're going to solve for y. So to do that on this problem, we will add 4x each side, add 4x, so we get 7y equals 4x minus 3. So that's so far just 7y equals 4x minus 3. We want to get y by itself, so my next step is going to be, I'm just going to rewrite the equation quick, divide everything by 7. So we get y equals 4/7 x minus 3/7. Now from this problem, my slope from my original problem is 4/7. Now this asks us for our perpendicular slope. So make sure you understand perpendicular. So my perpendicular slope to this is, so my perpendicular slope, my perpendicular m, is equal to the opposite. So this was positive, so now it's going to be negative, and we flip it. So it's 7/4. So there's my slope. It still doesn't answer my question, because my question asks for give the slope of the line that has a perpendicular and contains the point 2, 3. So now, let's make sure we have this, and we have the point. It has to go through -2, -3. So it's just now like the problems we did a lot earlier, where we're given a point and we're given a slope. So I want to go again and rewrite this. We want to put in the equation y equals mx plus b. And we know our slope we're going to use. We're going to make it perpendicular. This will make this equation, if we use -7/4, it will make this perpendicular to our original equation because they'll have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. So then I'm going to fill in my x and my y. Remember again, here's my x, here's my x, here's my y, because this is always in the form x comma y. So we have negative 3 equals negative 7 fourths times my x, which is negative 2, plus b. And now again, I need to multiply some fractions here. I'm going to go down here and rewrite this whole equation, just so we have some more room down here. So I have, let's make sure we understand, we're just rewriting this equation. Negative 3 equals negative 7 over 4 times negative 2 over 1 plus b. Now when I multiply these, I'm going to actually do some cross canceling, so I can cancel out this 2 here with this 4. I have a 2 left. I still have a negative 1 here. So I have negative 3 equals negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7 halves plus b. Now I'll come down here and subtract 7 halves minus 7 halves. These will cancel out. And then up here I'll get negative 3 minus 7 halves equals b. I'll get a common denominator again. Negative 3, I'm going to write as negative 6 over 2 minus 7 over 2 equals my b. Subtract those. Negative 6 minus 7 is negative 13 halves equals b. So now here's my b. And if I go back, I remember my perpendicular slope that I want to use was m equals negative 7 fourths. And just to review, go back up to the question. It says give the slope-intercept form of the line. So I think that slope-intercept form, that's what we started with. That's our original problem we had. Very first video, I have my slope and my intercept right here. I'm just going to plug those into y equals mx plus b to get my final answer of y equals, my slope I want to use is negative 7 fourths x plus negative 13 over 2, which again we can rewrite as y equals negative 7 fourths x minus 13 halves. So this would be our final answer, one of those two equations. Right. Now, that is for perpendicular. Parallel, our next problem. Parallel is done exactly the same way, except we don't change our slope. So there's one less step. So I picked the same problem from above. It just says we have parallel this time. Parallel means we don't change our slope. So I'll go through this one a little bit quicker because it's very similar. So first off, we're going to go negative 4x plus 7y equals negative 3. We're going to solve this for y. Even though it's the same slope we had before, just to verify we do the same thing. We're going to have plus 4x plus 4x. We get 7y equals 4x minus 3. And then, just following the same stuff from above, we divide everything by 7. So we get y equals 4/7 x minus 3/7. You notice that none of these problems, we don't do anything with this. We can really ignore this on every one of these problems. We only care about, at this part, that slope. So my slope is 4/7. And if I want to find my parallel slope, and we indicate parallel, if you remember, with two straight lines, my parallel slope is the same. so it's also 4/7. So this is what I'm going to use for the rest of this problem. Here's my slope, and I'm going to go back up here and grab my point. So now I have the point on here, -2, -3. So I'm going to use this information here to finish the rest of my problems. I have a point and a slope, and it asks it for in slope-intercept form, so I have to find my b. So I have y equals mx plus b. And in our problem again, we're given y equals, our m is 4/7 x plus b. And we don't know a b again. So we're going to go back through this and find our b. So we're going to write it as, make this smaller here so we can see that. Fill in our x and our y. So our y is -3 again, because this is the point x comma y. So we have -3 equals 4/7 times -2 plus b. So again, we gotta multiply these. So we get -3 equals 4/7 times -2/1 plus b. Multiply those all out. -3 equals -8/7 plus b. I'm going to finish this by adding 8/7 to each side. Cancel those out. -3 plus 8/7 is going to equal our b. So now when I do that up here, I need to get a common denominator, which is going to be 7. I get -21/7 plus 8/7 equals b. -21 plus 8 is -13/7 equals b. And I'm done. We have to remember from before we had our parallel slope of 4/7. So we're going to rewrite this in y equals mx plus b form, because that's what it asked for. As y equals, our slope is 4/7 x plus a -13/7, which again can be written as y equals 4/7 x minus 13/7. Alright, and that is our final answer. So those are a little bit longer. Try some problems and you should be okay.